Hi, my name is Rabbi Yossi Aronson, or as I'm better known in Sacramento as Joey, and I was born in Sacramento and raised in Mosaic Law Congregation. And I remember Rabbi Ehrenkrantz very well. I appreciate so much this opportunity to take part in this memorial service for him. I'm sitting here in my office in Jerusalem trying to do a selfie with a smartphone, and this is about the 100th take. It's not too easy to do. I hope it doesn't shake too much. Um, as I said, my bar mitzvah in 1961 was probably one of the first functions that Rabbi Ehrenkrantz attended to, and we remained in almost weekly contact through 1966 when I moved away to college. And then later on, I saw him when I came home for vacations. And I remember his enthusiasm when I started to study to be a rabbi in 1968. Today, reflecting on the answers he gave me to questions I asked about things I was learning, makes me realize that he was a great scholar, and he was an expert in the codes and more than proficient to answer any questions. But that wasn't the most important influence he had on me. And I would have to say that influence really stemmed from Rabbi Ehrenkrantz's approach to people. He always showed great sincerity and love and warmth. The rabbis have a saying that what goes out of the heart goes into the heart. And what Rabbi Ehrenkrantz always expressed to me, even though he didn't say it in so many words, was that he loved Jewish tradition, he loved the Torah, he loved Jewish people, and he was absolutely happy whenever I would take part in any part of the service or youth group activities. And so I think that made me love my Jewish tradition, even though I probably didn't know that much about it at the time. Later on, when I went through the typical identity crisis that most youths go through, then it was only natural for me to look into my roots, into my Jewish identity, to try to find some kind of direction at a time of terrible chaos. And thank God I did find that direction, and I was directed to rabbinic literature, which to this very day is very fulfilling to me. And I've been a teacher ever since. 40 years now, I'm almost retiring. And I have a lot to thank Rabbi Ehrenkrantz for that, because those values which are so important to me are always transferred from teacher to student, and that's what he gave me. I, of course, remember so intensely the way he took care of his wife and showed his concern for her when she fell into bad health. Rabbi Ehrenkrantz was someone who not only preached, but mostly practiced the values of our Jewish tradition. That also is an example, his devotion to his dear wife. Finally, I want to share with you one more specific memory, and that was that sometime when I was a teenager, on Friday night, rather than giving a sermon, Rabbi Ehrenkrantz decided to tell some jokes. It was around Purim time, and he felt that the time of year which called for more happiness would be appropriately related to by telling some jokes. I think he kind of surprised the synagogue, or the congregants, I mean, and I don't know if the congregants really knew how to respond to it. I remember a lot of laughter, but it made a great impression on me that one should try and make the services at the synagogue enjoyable, humorous if possible, experiential. And I use that in my own teaching experience and created a puppet theater called the Talmud Theater. I wrote 10 plays for that, and I performed all over the world, not only in Hebrew but also in Russian, Hungarian, and English. And I attempted to teach the values of Judaism and the Talmud in an entertaining manner. Today, we are confronted with a tremendous challenge of assimilation in the United States. And I am sure that at the very least, what we must do is make our synagogues places that are warm and hospitable and that show kindness and sincerity to anyone who comes to the services, whether it be a regular member or a stranger who's just visiting. And if we do that, then we also will be able to convey that feeling of warmth and conviction to our students. I know that Rabbi Ehrenkrantz's soul is with us tonight, and I hope and pray that he has nachas, a pleasure, joy from his students who have gone on and tried to spread Judaism to their students. And I pray that he rest with our righteous forefathers in heaven, and that he'll always think of us and ask God to help us in these trying times, that our people will remain and also grow stronger. Thanks again for having me take part in this wonderful ceremony, and I wish all of you much happiness and good health.